Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to this video. This is Tina from TinaHeals.com, and today we are continuing with our discussion of the Sun Moon Ascendants, and this video is about an Aries Ascendant, a Capricorn Moon and a Leo Sun. So you have your Ascendant degree in Cardinal Fire, Yang, ruled by Mars, the planet of action, but also a competition and strife. And your moon is in Capricorn, which is again cardinal, but earth. This is Saturn's domain, and although Capricorn is feminine, there is a tremendous masculine energy signature with Capricorn, because this she is completely ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is also her soul ruler. So even in exoteric astrology as well as esoteric astrology, Saturn rules Capricorn. Okay, and it's all about boundaries and structure. So, and you have your Sun in rulership, which is amazing because the moon, Capricorn for the moon is not a good position, but with Sun in Leo you have a planet in rulership, and Leo is fire. So you've got fire going on with your chart, a lot of fire vibe. And of course you have to see for you where Mars is positioned, because that is the very key to your natal chart, because you are an Aries ascendant, and this is fixed fire, whereas Aries is cardinal fire. Okay, but there's a harmonious conversation happening with your ascendant and your sun, because they are in fellow fire signs. So this movement between the ascendant and the sun sign is smooth. So now let us understand the ascendant. The ascendant is the degree of the zodiac rising on the eastern side of the horizon at the moment of your birth. And the sign on which it falls is your rising sign. And for you, that's Aries. And the ascendant is kind of like the armor you wear. Okay, it's the classical Jungian mask. Okay, the way you interface with society. When you walk into a room, people notice your ascendant first. Okay, and it's your physical body, it's how you look, it's a sum total of your being. So it's probably the most important part of your chart, the ascendant degree and the rising sign. Now Aries ascendant. So when I told you that the ascendant is how you look, so red is a color that really vibes with you. So you probably have ruddy complexion and very well defined features, very sharp, prominent. You may have this restless edginess about you. Okay, hair, I've noticed that even women of this rising sign, they tend to keep their hair short. They're just more masculine. And you love your highlighters and anything that accentuates the face and the head, because Aries rules the face and the head. So for you, this is a very important part of your identity, and you tend to take care of it. Now what I want to say is that remember, when you walk into a room, you're telling people that, hey, look at me, I am an Aries and I am the archetype of the pioneer, the initiator. Okay, so you walk in with your purposeful stride and the restless, edgy look in your eyes, and you're not going to take nonsense. You're going to say it how it is, and people can see that. People can see that, you are a go-getter, a trailblazer. This is the Aries energy, and you must understand that after the 29th degree of Pisces, when the soul enters Aries, there is a mini Big Bang, and everything is born anew. So you are the infant of the zodiac. So being the infant of the zodiac, obviously there is a selfish streak about you, because children, they understand self-preservation. They are not being selfish for the sake of being selfish. They understand self-preservation. So if you are born with Aries placements, especially ascendant, sun, moon, you're going to have this selfish streak in you. So the goal of this is enlightened selfishness, as very eloquently put by Stephen Forrest. He's a very eminent astrologer. Look him up if you don't know him. So the goal of Aries is enlightened selfishness, because you must understand that although people don't associate Aries with enlightenment, the ultimate soul evolution of Aries is enlightenment, because Aries' ruler is Mercury, and this Mercury as soul ruler is about higher wisdom, higher knowledge. So ultimately, it's not about martial combat and strife only. Yes, you're definitely very swift moving. When you walk into a room, you create that energy, you rabble rouse, you say it how it is, not afraid to look someone in the eye and stare them down, intimidate your enemy. You're not afraid to chase someone because you desire them. It is that really excites you, the chase. And sometimes when you get that individual, you lose interest. You're great at starting new things, but not great with completions. I mean, this is something that Aries needs to understand: detailing and completion. All right. Now, when your soul is born in the agitating fires of Aries, it's definitely asking, craving for new directionality. But understand that these fires of agitating Aries, it's not soothing, it's turbulent, it's soul stirring, okay? And if you're not careful, your ruthlessness, the lower vibration, your Martian ruthlessness, and just the complete undermining of authority. I mean, everything must be had in correct measurements, and nothing of anything should be taken to extremes. That's something you need to understand, Aries. All right. Now, if you have a difficult Mars, you can be prone to anger, violence, temper, road rage, and all of that. Okay, so balance your Mars, empower it, exercise. Your sixth house is Virgo, right? So, and Virgo rules the nervous system and the digestion, and Aries rules the head. So if you're not mindful of what you put in and the mood you put it in, you can have migraines, persistent acne, ENT infections, and thinning of hair also if you're not careful, and all of that, sensitivity to teeth and gum, right? And with Virgo ruling your digestion, be very mindful. Virgo is your sixth house of health. Be very mindful of your diet and how you eat and how you work it out. If walking pleasures you, walk, but however you can creatively express that. Now, when Mars is the transiting Mars is your ascendant ruler, is making difficult aspects to your personal planets or the malefics in your chart. Be careful of road rage, be careful of anger, violence, temper issues flaring up, heavy machinery, guns, freak accidents, and all of that, okay? Now, Capricorn moon, okay? Now, what is the moon? Let us try and understand the moon. Now, the moon is the very opposite of the ascendant. The moon is who we are when no one is looking. It's how we connect. It's how we nurture. It's how we were nurtured. It's our mother. The moon rules the breast and the stomach. So it's all about nourishment and providing nourishment, giving care. Our moods, our habit patterns, how we feel emotionally, how we connect with people. The moon is a very private part of us, right? And moon in Capricorn, not a good position. You need to understand that it's okay to verbalize your emotions. You're very serious. And with moon in Capricorn, you probably had to grow up much before your time. You're probably looking after your siblings or cousins, or providing care maybe for your grandparents, or doing something of responsibility. Maybe and you have a 10th house moon. So moon, you need to be very, and 10th house is your mid-heaven, which is your MC. So medium Chelly, it's about your purpose, your career. So you have to be emotionally vested in what you do to really see success, you know, and really emotionally vested. Because Capricorn by itself is very invested in success. Because you must understand, Capricorn is Saturn's domain, as I told you, and Saturn is about mastery of 3D. And when you know, Saturn is considered the greater malefic of the zodiac, and Mars is considered the lesser malefic. So you've got Mars and Saturn both. So you need to understand the placements of Mars and Saturn, and also what aspects they make to themselves. Okay, so and a lot more. So, and then you will be able to piece together the whole story. So you must understand that Capricorn is essentially about endurance. It is a sign of winter, as Aries is a sign of spring. So with Capricorn moon, there's a sense of frugality about. You want to be frugal. You want to, you know, not have that tempestuous Aries fire and spend it all. You're careful. You're bothered about safety and security and spending and all of that. Okay, now the key to Capricorn moon is to understand that limitations exist in the 3D world and to go beyond that limitation, right? Now, your mother was probably a disciplinarian, or your childhood was probably very strict, where you could not maybe even express yourself. It's very possible, because the moon also symbolizes the mother, right? So and you know, because Saturn is about boundaries, you tend to create these boundaries between you and people. You don't want to let somebody in easily. You have to be really careful before you let somebody in, you know. And Capricorn in our physical body rules all our skin, our skeleton, and our nails, our teeth, anything that gives us structure. So having difficult Saturn placements can also see you lose hair. So, you know, Aries rules the hair, and when you have too much fire, you could also lose hair like that. So that's something to be mindful of. Now, what we need to understand is Capricorn moon is definitely about structure, tenaciousness, stability, hard work, and completions, which is great because your Aries moon may not be able to complete a lot of things. Now, definitely a feet on the ground, eyes on the prize kind of sign. And whatever this Aries ascendant is going to, as Aries rising is going to push you towards, hopefully you will be able to complete them step by step, because to the Capricorn moon, completions are important, right? Now, I want to tell you in Arabic astrology, Capricorn is of course cold and dry, and it holds the keys to day and night. So it's like this angel holds the keys to death and night. So it's like day and night, which is like death and life. And the angel of Capricorn is Azrael, right? And Azrael takes souls back to heavenly realms. It's very special. And also in Babylonian myth, Capricorn is linked to Ea, who is the antelope of the oceans and who gave humanity knowledge, but was like Saturn because he did not feel any emotions. So now Sun in rulership in Leo. Leo is the 5th house. It's the house of creativity, fueling your creative fire. The sun is the most glorious object in the solar system, and it's about giving illumination. Ultimately, the point of Leo is to give illumination, and it is a sign of the artist, the creative individual, the very regal. It's a sign of royalty, you know. So it's very regal and very dramatic, and ruled by the sun. It can be, you know, tremendously overpowering, because, you know, think of the gas giants. What happens? They swallow everything up. So that's like the ego. Okay, so a well-defined sun means having a healthy sense of the ego, because sun is a healthy sense of I am. It's our father, it's our goals, it's our ambitions, it's our conscious awareness. Sun in Leo expresses itself beautifully, childlike, and very, very much in touch with adventure. So you have the archetype of the initiator, then you have the archetype of the boss, and Leo's a thorough boss, but don't let egoism get in the way of truly connecting to people. And your father was probably very dramatic, could be a showman, or maybe someone in a big position, because Leos do tend to go to big positions. Sun is the father, remember. Now professions for you, anything, just about anything, because here you've got the Capricornian tenaciousness and endurance to complete, and you've got the Aries fire and the Leo fire fueling it. And it's creative, believe me, it's very, very creative, and it's not afraid. It's one combination that it is not afraid. So I hope you like that as much as I like making it for you. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. And if you liked what you heard, subscribe. Thank you.